Welcome to Call Me Crazy. Today we have on Lakinya Francis, and she's the founder of iKrave, which is actually a vending machine company. This is a business we are so interested in. So welcome to our show. We're stoked to have you.
All right. Thank you guys for having me. And I'm excited to talk about vending machines. It's actually quite fun.
Yeah. So, all right. So I heard a little bit about this from like this other podcast I listened to. They were just talking about the business of vending machines. So I'm curious, how did you get into it and how are you operating it? Because I think it's a very interesting business that a lot of people don't think about because they're just, you see them all over the place. Somebody's got to own them, right?
Exactly. So here's the thing, right? I'm from Miami, Florida, and
I'm from Tampa. I used to live in Tampa.
Me too.
All right.
I graduated from USF.
Oh, nice. I lived in South Tampa. I would go McDinton's all the time.
Okay. All right. Yeah. How about that? Small world.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm from Miami, and I actually I have a day job, employed with the state or whatever. And so I was saying to myself a few years ago, like, okay, I wanna start a side hustle, something that's realistic, and I don't have to sell my soul to get started. Yeah. And it's like actually achievable. So I just started researching a lot of different things, and I actually came across vending, and I was like, this is interesting. But I thought like only big time companies can start vending. So I started doing Google searches and YouTube, videos, and just watching and there was not as much information out there as it is today. So I kind of just, kept doing my research. And then one day I just woke up literally and I just bought a set of machines. And I was like, okay, I've read all I'm going to read. I've researched all I'm going to research. At this point, I got to try it out. So I literally did that, and I moved them in my garage, and I went from there. And a lot of trial and error. And so, yeah, so that's how I got started with it. Now, vending is semi-passive. So if you noticed, I said I have a regular job. So I like this business model because it's set up to do stuff part-time. So if you have, if you're already an entrepreneur, you already have a business, or you have a 9-to-5, your mom, your dad, you got kids, whatever, you got responsibilities. This is designed to be able to do it whenever and fit your schedule. So anybody can do it, honestly.
And I love the hustle. I mean, just jumping in, like, I'm going to buy it. I did the research. So what happens? Where did you buy it, first of all? Because I know like there's some used ones maybe you could buy, or are you going to buy a new one? And what's kind of the price of a vending machine?
So I got some used machines. I got a snack and a drink machine. Okay. I actually got it off of OfferUp.
Oh, nice.
So
what did the first one run you, like that used machine? Just
that was so the seller wanted $1,200 for both. And I told him, hey, I only have $1,000. And and he went for it, and that was it, and I will say this, the market is different depending on where you are. So I'm in Miami, you can get anything here. I know another market that is very similar to here, as far as the used machines, is LA, where the machines are, incomparable with pricing. But you can go to some areas like New York, a little bit more expensive. Same machines and stuff. It's just that, it's just the market there and people are selling for a little bit more.
And once you get the machine, okay, so we got the machine, it's in your garage, you got two of them. How do you figure out what you're going to put inside? And then how do you figure out the location of the machine? Do you have to buy the location of the machine, or can you just plop it anywhere with the power?
So the thing about that, right? And this is something that I didn't quite get up front. I'm like, man, okay, I got this. This is going to be easy to get along. All I got to do is tell them, go and walk into a few businesses and tell them, hey, I got this machine. It's free for you. And I put it in there. And that was very difficult. That's the hardest part of the businesses. That's the hardest part of the business. It's the part that people, they get intimidated by, and they say, oh, forget this, and I'm done. So I actually, first I use a service. So that's another thing that you can do. So you can either do one or two things. You can go out there and get the location on your own, which I recommend. It's not a bad thing. Actually, it's the best method. Or there's what they call locators that will do it for you. But of course, it's a fee. It's another expense. And why not get out there and hustle for it? You'll appreciate it, and so that's pretty much what you do. And then you figure out what type of product you want to buy. What do you want to sell in the machine? You want to sell snacks? You want to sell, whatever. You can literally put anything inside of a vending machine.
And are you just buying all the products wholesale and filling them yourselves? Okay.
Yes.
So it's not like a wild, crazy thing. It's like you're just getting this whole-sale.
Yeah, you just buy your product wholesale. You determine, of course, like, okay, what I want to sell.
Sure.
And you fill your machine up and you kind of monitor it. I'd say depending on how busy your location is, so maybe once a week, once every other week, you'd go reload up, stock up again, fill up your machine, collect your money, and it's a cycle.
Go ahead.
Do the places you place the machines at require a portion of sales, or no? They're just happy to have the machine for their guests.
So it's the way you approach them, actually. So one thing I do when I'm coaching people, I tell them how to go and approach the company, and really need to highlight the benefits of having this free machine. They don't have to do anything, but you do encounter some locations that will say, "Hey, what's in it for me? What cut do I get?
Free snacks. Just use a code."
Yeah. But then you have some locations that really do see the benefit. Like, hey, you know what? I got this machine. My employees can, use it whenever they want. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to provide the machine. I don't have to go buy stuff to put in it.
Yeah.
That's their business. So that's a total convenience. So it's really the way you approach the location. But some will ask though.
And would you say no way, or would you consider it if you knew it was a really
No. So depending on the location, of course, you're going to go ahead and say, hey, okay, I can give you 10%.
Like, can you get into like Disney World? Like, how do you get into those places, or like a mall?
So listen, and that's another thing. When people are first starting out, I'm telling them like, hey, let's not go for the airport. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
It's really hard getting in certain places like that. Like an airport, depending on how big it is, you might have to go through a bidding. It may not just be so simple. Disney World, oh my God. They probably have a contract with some big company like Coke or something. Getting in the mall is not as difficult as it may seem, because you got to think about it. Mall is real estate, right? So their job is to fill the space. You don't have, there's no convincing. They want people to come in and set up your business. I don't care if it fails or, because you're
paying me the money.
Yeah, you're paying me. Yeah. It's different. It's a little bit easier to get inside of a mall than it is inside of somebody's actual business.
And what is, you don't have to give us like real numbers, but like on average, what is one machine kind of net a week or a month, or is it like what's the business model of that? Like, how many do you need to where it's like, I'm just fully passive vending machines. Like I'm just collecting money every day.
You're just collecting money. So one, I will say it's semi-passive because you still got to go shopping and put the stuff in there. Unless you find somebody to do it. So I just wanted to say that. But still, the machine, I tell people all the time, your vending machine is your employee, okay? And they're working for you. And you don't have to be there when somebody buy a certain product. You just need to go and collect your money and fill it back up. And so it is semi-passive. But a machine, a traditional snack or drink machine, you'll probably make about $450 to $500 a month. Now there are some locations that make way more than that, depending on the foot traffic. So that's the clue. That's the thing with the location. You want to make sure that the location has a lot of foot traffic. There's either a lot of employees or a lot of people going in and out of the business. Okay. So if it's some type of business where it's just, 5 office people and they don't have any other interaction, that's not a good spot.
What kind of like vending machine, like there's so many different ones. Like I've seen some at airport where like Best Buy has like, I can buy AirPods at a vending machine.
Yeah.
How many different tiers of vending machines are there now? Cause are they like are vending machines considered where you can like make a coffee? Like, is that a vending machine?
So
many.
It's so many different kinds, and it's so interesting, right? So let me tell you, the most that I'm helping others with is traditional snacks and drinks. But another thing that really took off for me was the beauty vending machines, the beauty supplies. Beauty supplies, like anything you go in a hair store and buy, eyelashes, hair extensions, makeup or lipstick, or, brushes, combs, do-rags or satin caps, or just all sorts of stuff, maybe even accessories. That is becoming very, very popular. And those machines are making some good money. You can have one of those and average like $2,000 a month.
Wow. And the products are so much more.
Yeah, because I mean, in the hair industry is $1 billion industry by itself. Now that's just one thing. I actually have somebody that I'm working with right now. And this is something that I had started to build, like information and courses and stuff, but I kind of backed off a little bit about a year ago. But now this is going to give me the urge to go again. She's in Michigan, and she's getting ready to do a CBD vending machine, and she's going to put it in a cycling place where you work out and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Like a spin, like a bike play, like a Peloton or whatever, something like that.
Yep. And so, I actually was talking to her today, and, the machine is going to be brand new. It's going to have the ID age verification where they're like asking for the ID.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's expensive.
I mean, with all the bells and whistles, I'm like, but, and that's another thing with vending. Some stuff, the investment is different. Like, snacks and drinks. I mean, it's one of the easiest ones to get started.
Sure.
But, you're talking about beauty supplies. Okay. You're talking about a little bit more for your product. CBD, a lot bit more for your product. But she's going to make probably, she's going to make a ton.
Yeah. And so that, I mean, that's interesting because we talk about it. There's like a location near us that has a lot of foot traffic, but doesn't have a lot of real estate. And we're like, oh, vending, because I've been talking about it for a while. So I was really excited to have you on. Yeah. I was like, this is such an interesting idea.
Yeah, it is.
It is that passive income. You can put whatever you want in it.
Whatever.
And kind of service whatever community or whatever part of, like, we live somewhere where you can only get a few things walking, but imagine you pop this up next to the coffee shop or something like that.
There's coffee vending machines. There's laundry supply vending machines. I've been helping people with those. I've been, and that's another thing I do too. I give people ideas like, hey, what about toiletries? I had a girl that called me one day, and she's a successful business owner already. I get a lot of people like that. And she's like, hey, I spend a lot of time in the hotels. And I went to the hotel one time, and it was like TMI, but she was like, I wanted to get some condoms and they didn't have them. And I was like, what the heck? And she was like, I came up with the idea that I want to get a vending machine that has all these different things in there. And I was like, oh, I have the perfect supplier for you. They sell, condoms, they sell toothbrush, toothpaste, Advil, Pepto-Bismol, little laundry packets,
everything.
I mean, just all kind of toiletries that playing cards, and it's specific for vending machines. So you don't need to go and find packaging. That's what they do. They sell these things for vending machines. So it's amazing the stuff that you really can, put in there. Anybody can turn anything that they're passionate about or whatever their likes or hobbies are, and pretty much turn it into a vending machine business.
And have you changed kind of not your business model, because obviously you have vending machines, but iKravevending.com, are you now kind of coaching and guiding people on how to get into this business?
Yeah, and it's so crazy, right? Because when I first started, it was just like, okay, I want extra money. I want to start a side hustle, but I wanted something to do. Like I was feeling like, okay, I go to work 9 to 5 and I'm not doing enough with my life. So I got started with that, and okay, that gave me something to do on the weekends. And of course, people started asking, how do you do that? And I'm like, people want to know this? I really thought that, and that has taken over right now. So now I have someone helping me with the few machines that I do have, because I'm so busy with coaching and, consulting with people. And I enjoy it a lot, like helping them through every step of the process. But I am going to actually get back into a different type of vending. Actually, this summer, this one is pretty cool. Again, like I said, I'm in Miami, right? So we're surrounded by water. And my brother, he's a fisherman. He's an avid fisherman, and he goes down to Key West, Florida a lot. I'm not sure. Have you heard of Key West, Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Aaron, you've never been there, but I've been there a few times.
Yeah.
On a few cruise ships. Dock there.
Go down there. It's eat on the water. It's a tourist spot, but people go down there to fish. And he's like, hey, when I go fishing overnight, if I don't have all of my supplies, I have to turn around, and everything closes so early down there, like 10 o'clock. And he was like, so we're actually getting ready to get us a live bait and tackle vending machine. And
that's great.
That's such a good idea.
Well, I'm definitely going to hit you after this podcast. Like, I'm going to email you. I want to figure out how to do a vending machine over here. Cause I've mentioned it a few times to you. Like, wouldn't that be
you have an idea of possibly what you might want to.
I mean, it was all about like, so, we sell dog products. We have CBD dog products. So it was around kind of the dog vending machine where we live. There's a lot of people walking their dog, maybe sell some poop bags, maybe sell some treats, because there's nowhere you can walk to go get it. So I feel like that would be easy. We have all these connects in wholesale in the dog world.
Oh man,
pop it in.
I'm just thinking like, that's going to be awesome for you guys. Actually, the supplier that I've started networking so much, so now I'm kind of partnered with the largest supplier in the U.S. and they actually do the pet supply vending machine.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so even if you guys have, and I'll hook you up with everything, with all the info.
Right.
So let's say you guys have your brand or whatever, wrap your machine with that. So you can keep it branded. Put it in that area. So, I don't know if you guys are, in an apartment community, a dog park,
Well, that was my question. What is the, like, all right, we're in LA. I'm sure this happens in Miami too, but like people like the tag stuff, people like the damage things just for fun, kids running around doing stuff. How has that ever affected any of your machines? And are there like weatherproof machines where I can just like leave it outside a little bit?
Yeah. You can. And so here's the thing. Now, when you're talking about, hey, I want to leave the machine outside, we're going to say we're going to get with the supplier and make sure that the machine is good for indoor or outdoor.
Okay.
But as far as the theft and stuff like that, here's the thing, man. You can't let that make you scared to get out there.
Sure.
Because, I mean, but there are some things that you can do. For example, I had a client. She's in like DC, and the location was actually really nice. They were like, hey, if you put this soda machine outside of it, was like an auto body shop. If you put it on the outside, you'll get more people to use it. And they were trying to help her. So what she did was she went on eBay and bought some brackets. And just drilled them in, and you can't do anything with that machine. So that's an option.
Okay. I remember when I was in high school, I used to shove my hand into the machine and go grab soda. I don't know if they have those machines around anymore, but I would do it all the time.
Now, I will say maybe some of the older.
Aaron's looking at me because she's like, what are you doing? Because when you were like, I don't know if you remember when you were in high school and you like would walk around, be like, I don't have $1, but I definitely can squeeze my hand up into this machine and grab a soda.
Hey, I know what you mean, but listen, the older machines are people still hack them or whatever. But a lot of these newer machines that, like, for example, if you guys were going to sell dog products, I'm going to be honest, don't get an old $500 machine. Get a new machine with a credit card reader, warranty, less problems. It looks better. It's much more inviting. It's going to be
with the credit card machine. Do you have to go collect, or is it just auto wired in, or do you have to like go there with a terminal or something?
So what happens is, if you buy, it depends. If you buy the machine brand new and it comes with a credit card reader, there is a setup process. The setup process is it'll already be on there, so you'll just need to call the company that, for example, like Nayax. They're one of the most popular credit card suppliers, and you would call them, set the machine up. And you do have to pay like a little monthly fee, like $12 for the router, and you connect your bank information.
Oh, nice.
And so that's how, when people use it, that's how they get the signal, and you get paid that way. And it's good because you get to kind of track your inventory that way.
Oh yeah, that's true. Then you can see what's going on. It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. So if you're like, okay, I put 100 pieces of product in there on Monday and it's Thursday and I have 40 left. I sold 60 so far. I'm probably going to need to go and restock because I might not make it through the week, so.
I was just thinking, I remember the old machines where I remember my friends would like get a quarter and like tie something to it or stick something and like put it in and then be able to pull it out, or like put $1 and then pull it out really fast. And it would sometimes think the dollar went in. I don't know. This was in high school. The machines are just sitting around when you're at lunch and you're like, what are we going to do? Like, oh, let's see if we can get some free stuff out of it.
But you know what? Like I said, things have really, changed a lot.
No, yeah, no, I'm saying this is like, I was in high school in 2005. So like clearly things have changed a little bit.
I think we're up with each other. I graduated in 2005.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah. So I graduated 2005. So machines were a little dumb back then. I'm saying the machines now must be so smart because you have Apple Pay on it. You have all that stuff. And
these machines nowadays are too smart. I mean, look, ID age verification. Like what?
Yeah, that's kind of wild. That's intense.
But
so,
I mean,
so what is kind of the next thing for you? Do you want to keep pushing out these vending machines, or are you trying to keep it local because you still have to refill?
Be a coach.
No, I know I mean, consultant. Yeah.
Well, for me, I think that I got my kick out of it. And honestly, I'm being honest. I think I got my kick. I really enjoy this helping people. It's like so rewarding, man. I get to help, parents help start their kids' businesses, people that have ideas.
Yeah.
And I really walk people through the process. It's really personal. So it's not like, oh, go listen to this course and go at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working with the person one-on-one, helping them find machines, locations. Great. So I'm really into that right now. And then I'm starting a coffee company. So I think I'm gonna, after I get this
coffee vending or coffee, a real coffee, like a
coffee, just coffee that you drink.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
How did you first start monetizing or how do you plan on monetizing the consulting? Because clearly there's a need. Like, we're super into it. I know you have your website, like how to do that. How are you going to scale that? Or because it seems like you love coaching. I'm just curious, like how you work with your clients. And
so right now I've been doing this. Let me show you how for about a year now.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, I've grown, my clientele through social media, Instagram specifically.
That's great.
And it's crazy because every day somebody's purchasing, somebody's booking every single day. And this is all coming from Instagram.
And they're booking like a consulting meeting with you via.
Yeah. So I have different options. I have some people just want a call. So I have in my bio, of course, with my link tree, I have my calendar. So I have my calendar set up with my availability, and I kind of give them a little, thing of what we're going to talk about. And once I call them, we go through the entire process. I get to know them because everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have no clue about business. Some people are already entrepreneurs and they tell me, hey, I don't need you to tell me how to set up a business. I'm good with that. I just know some people like that. Like, I just need the machine and I need you to help me with that.
Yeah.
It just depends. And I do follow-ups, to see where they are, see what they need, kind of give them a goal, a plan. Like, hey, this is what you need to do now. 1, 2, 3. How am I going to grow from that? Right now, it's okay. It's not too much. I haven't really, I don't know if how much more I'm going to grow at the moment because I am still with my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So
at what point, is it a dollar amount? You're like, once I make this with vending and consulting, I'm out of my job? Or is your day job really good? It's like, I'm going to stay because benefits are great here.
Now the benefits are great.
It's
a government job. So
so you get like days off all the time.
Yeah, I mean it's 9 to 5. You get a retirement. I got the best insurance, best. Really, I've been thinking about that more recently.
Oh, you stay. I mean, that sounds great. Like the working for the government, I feel like is always the best job. Like, there's national holidays all the time. People are never working, or like government workers like half days off. Like, I love it. and a whole bunch of benefits.
And so, and so it's really, and for me, it's not about, it is about the money, but it's like, I don't want to, I don't know. I've been thinking about it lately. I'm like, man, if I leave my job, I can leave, I can leave my job. But then my wife, right, she's a nurse. And so her income is like crazy. So, it's not the money, and she depends on my benefits too. So it's like,
that's true. Yeah.
Hey,
well, you could probably always hire somebody too to start running some of your.
Let me tell you one thing that I've learned. Well, I actually have somebody helping me with that already.
Oh, good.
So that I don't really leave the house much. Everything I'm doing is online, and
I love it.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get one vending machine.
But yeah. So I don't have to leave my house much, and I get to do a lot of the stuff online like this, on the phone, answering emails and whatever. So it's cool or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been thinking about it so much. Like, hey man, am I gonna stop working? At what point am I gonna stop working?
But I mean, what you're doing now is like what people dream of. You got a 9 to 5. You also have this passive income. People are wanting to know more information about your vending machine. I mean, this is the dream, right? Like you could just continue on and then just like, oh yeah, I'm making all this extra money.
Yeah, I think for now this is what I'm gonna do, because I'm able to control it too now. Mm-hmm. Not everybody talks to me. Some people go on my website and they buy the package where they go and listen to the courses, and they get their ebooks, their proposals. I have contracts and stuff that I've created for people. Some people don't talk to me, and I can control my schedule and make myself available. And if it gets overwhelming, I can scale back a little bit. So I'm able to control it, and that's what I do now. Sometimes when I'm like, oh my God, this is too much, I'll block off my schedule and leave it open. So it's working for me right now.
I mean, it's really, really cool. You built this whole consulting business on Instagram, and it's like now it's becoming too much to handle almost, and you have to reel it in. That's people try so hard to get enough clients. So that's awesome. And for everyone who's wondering about how they can do machines, it's at iKrave which we're definitely gonna check out.
Yes,
absolutely. Yep. And, come check us out every day. I'm always posting up tips and just little things. And, if you want to just follow and stick around and see what's going on, if you have any questions,
we'll see how the fisherman vending machine
before we go, I wanted to ask, like, if somebody's getting into vending machine, maybe like myself, what are like the 3 things you're trying, like, are very important to remember when you get into it? Whatever those 3 things are. Is it the location, or is it like what vending machine you buy?
So one thing I will say, and I'm learning this from experience, there's something else that goes on. People sell routes. What I mean by that, let's say I had a machine already in the business, and I go post it on, OfferUp, Craigslist, whatever. And I'm saying, hey, I'm selling the business. I'm selling my route. I have 2 machines on location already. Pay me $3,000. It's making, $100 a week, whatever. And that's normal. I tell people, be careful with that. Because if it's so good, why are they selling it?
Yeah, that sounded weird to me right away. I was like, why would you sell it then?
No, but you'd be surprised. That's like one of the biggest things that people, they want to get into business, and they're like, oh my God, I can just buy the route. And some people, they do retire and they move on, but you got to be careful with that. So that's one thing I would tell people. Be very mindful of buying routes, build your own route. The next thing is do your homework on your location. So that's another thing. I really help people evaluate the location, because if you're not looking into it, you might be moving your machine in a spot that's dead. And then you're not going to make any money, and you're going to be like, oh man, I got to move.
Yeah, you need foot traffic. People need to be there for you to make money. Yeah.
So you can't just say, oh, they want a machine. Cool, I'm putting it in there. You need to kind of ask questions, do some random drop-bys, just see, what's going on.
Maybe just stand in front of the line to get some traffic going.
Yep. And then another thing that I would say, and I've learned this just myself, sometimes you get what you pay for. Cheap is not always the best. If you buy a really cheap machine, not saying that you can't get a deal. There's some people that have gotten really good deals because people are just like, I just want to get rid of the machine.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for the cheapest machine out there, you got to be careful, because if it's too old, it won't be compatible with the credit card reader. You won't be able
or I'll be able to stick my hand up into it and take some stuff out.
From you.
So, you pay for what you get.
Yeah.
And, don't always try to, go for the cheapest thing out there.
And this is another random question I thought about. Can you set the price to whatever you want? Because I know when I go to like Disney World or I play ice hockey, like when I go there, like, oh, a Powerade's $5, but I know it's not $5.
Yeah, no, you can change the price, and that's usually simple. Like in the inside of the machine, it's a control panel, and it tells you up, down, whatever. Yeah, you can change the price. Most machines go anywhere from $0 to $100 on one row. So,
And what are your average like margins on some of the items inside the machine?
So, let's say just throwing out.
Let's do a Butterfinger. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, those are expensive, right? Chocolate is very expensive. You're gonna pay, like 60-70 cents. You're gonna pay,
Or one. It better be one of the king size bars.
Yeah, if you're going to wholesale, it's expensive for chocolate.
What are you trying to look at margin wise? Like, what do you want ideally off that chocolate bar?
2 to 3 times of what you paid for it.
Okay.
That's what I tell people. And another thing is location, demographics. That's another thing that people don't think about. You ever went somewhere and you saw, man, this is only $1?
Yeah.
You ever went somewhere and you're like, $2.50? Oh no, that's because of the area. Hey, some areas, you can charge more. You can.
Well, do you remember? I mean, is Albertsons still around in Florida, or is it still out there? I remember
Albertsons. I don't
Albertsons.
think
It's like a Publix competitor. Remember the grocery store?
I don't. At least they're not down here in South Florida, but I don't think they are.
I remember a vending machine out front. They would always sell off-branded soda, and it was 25 cents for like a can of soda. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. You can get like soda for 25 cents out here. I was a kid, just biking around vending machines.
You can get some off-brand soda, and pay like 20 cents for it nowadays. And, that's still pretty decent.
Yeah.
But, that chocolate is very expensive.
For chocolate, that's a no-go. We're going to stick to dog products. Dog products are kind of expensive too. So I imagine it's got to be
but you have your target audience for that. People, let me tell you, I got my dog last year. She'll be one on Valentine's Day. And
what kind of dog?
A French bulldog.
Okay.
Oh man, Sage, I wish she was up here. She's downstairs. She's crazy. But let me tell you, I didn't want the dog at first. I was like, I'm not paying all that money for a dog. This is what I'm saying, and I'm like, now that I have my dog, I love her. I would spend my last dime on her. So the point that I'm making is that you're selling something to people. This is what they love. They love their dog. They'll spend money on their dog,
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, and we also have to send you some Dope Dog. So we'll send you some Dope Dog after this.
Okay,
yeah. It's a treat. Yeah.
For sure.
But do you want to ask the question? Our Call Me Crazy question?
So, we're like, could pick your brain for hours. We want to hear your Call Me Crazy story. You're a business owner. You have your side hustle. So tell us about a decision you made, or a business decision, or a personal decision in life where you might have been called crazy.
I think right now people are thinking I'm crazy because they're like, all right, well, I just graduated last week. Not graduated. I haven't officially graduated, but they're like, okay, you're in school, you work, you're doing Ikravevending. You got the nerve to be trying to open up another business. Are you crazy? And I'm like, I'm not. Don't doubt me.
Yeah.
Work and I've learned so much with Ikravevending that's teaching me how to maneuver through and start up and and kind of cut out all those things. And a lot of people think I'm crazy, and it is a lot, right?
Sure, it's a lot to manage.
yeah, but guess what? It's addicting. You know, this entrepreneur stuff is really addicting. You have so many creative ideas, and you're like, I can do it. So yeah, a lot of people think I'm crazy for that. Like, all right, Lakinya, you need to pump the brakes, you know. And I'm like, I know they think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I got this.
Well, you're on the right
You're a
podcast.
perfect guest.
Yeah. You're on Call Me Crazy. It's great. Well, Lakinya, thank you so much for joining the show. I love it. Obviously, we're going to talk after this. I'm going to make a vending machine, and maybe I'll update everybody once I have a vending machine out here. Super excited to start it. It's iKrave on Instagram and also ikravevending.com. We'll put all
that's Krave.
Yes, with a K. Yeah. So I'll put it all in the description so everybody can go click and find it. But thank you so much for coming on the show.
It was fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thanks.